Ryan, just wanted to clarify, how do you know if something's off topic, unimportant, irrelevant in these early stage conversations? The answer to this is basically whether or not it aligns with your learning goals that you've prepared ahead of the meeting. How you prepare the learning goals and are they the right learning goals is another topic. I basically start by trying to fill in a working mental model of the customer's worldview. So what are they currently doing? What's their current solution? How did they end up doing it that way? What else did they try? Why did that not work for them? How did they make their decisions? How much effort and time are they investing in improving things? Or are they pretty happy with the status quo? Those sorts of questions, like kind of a working mental model that predicts their current behavior and decision making, or at least lets me make sense of their current behavior and decision making. So that's kind of my first step on learning goals is I want to know those. So to me, it's off topic if basically I'm hearing stuff that's not related to my learning goals. Now, I'm happy to let a conversation flow in weird directions. I might have a later stage learning goal where it's like, at some point in the future, I want to learn about partnership opportunities or stakeholders in the buying process. And if I end up in a conversation where that stuff is just appearing and has fallen into my lap, I'll be happy to pick it up. That's still relevant. But if I'm trying to learn about their software buying processes and they're talking about management drama that doesn't really relate to buying processes, that might be important and valuable to someone else's startup, but it's not on topic for what I've brought in as my learning goals, for what my business needs for its next set of strategic or product decisions. So, that's off topic. And then the fix there is basically interrupt, but in a way that keeps the focus on them. I talk about this all the time. It's one of the crucial tools of customer development conversations. It's like, hey, super sorry to interrupt. You were saying something a second ago I would love to know more about, and bring the focus back onto them. Or you can do it and open a new conversation. It's like, hey, super sorry to interrupt or super sorry to jump in. And this is kind of a weird question, or this is kind of a big, would you mind if I asked about how and again, you can bring it back to asking about a story from their work, their life. People don't mind being interrupted as long as you immediately return the focus onto them. If you interrupt and then talk about yourself is no good. So that's basically how you recognize whether something's irrelevant. It's like, is it what you went in wanting to learn? And that comes out of the quality of your prep. And if you're really not sure about that, I give some examples in the manuscript, like basic questions. And then for the more strategic questions that you get to later stage, you can use whatever tool you want. The same stuff that would identify a business risk to build an MVP about or run a product experiment or if you like using the business model canvas and you've got doubts, you color code your canvas based on the confidence in some area, any of those can pull out these more strategic risks. Only some of them will be answerable through conversation. Other ones will require a slog, a product experiment, whatever. But yeah, sometimes you can pull one out and you can be like, oh wait, I can totally answer this in 10 minutes with a conversation. Hold on, let me go do that real quick. And when that's possible, it's the fastest option. So irrelevant is really just defined by yourself and your prep. If you're getting lots of irrelevant stuff, it either means that you didn't prepare properly, so you don't have good learning goals, so you don't actually even know what's relevant, or you're being too passive with your facilitation of the conversation, keeping it on topic. The guideline, keep the focus of the conversation on the customer, but keep the topic of the conversation constrained by your learning goals. So it's about them, but constrained to your topics is the ideal. Not always possible to hit that 100%, but that's the goal. All right, I hope that helps.